Hey YouTube, you just clicked my video even though First Killer's name wasn't in the title. I have a feeling you like all my videos then probably. You should hit the subscribe button because look, Twitch is still winning. We've got to surpass them. Yikes. What is this ping for Wizz? Chat, here we go. We've got ourselves a US West versus Sam matchup. It's Wizz versus Wisty. Wisty's going to score first. Wizz has a little bit better ping now. Wisty has 160 ping. How's this server? I wonder if these guys might want to switch it before we get too deep in. But if they want to stay with it, we will. Wizz says no problem. Wisty says no problem. Oh my goodness, he's going to play at 160 ping this whole time. It's just truly insane what the South American players do. The fact that he has no problem with 160, we have to be able to get him a better one. I saw a ranked game that we actually watched of him for the YouTube playing against First Killer. He had 140, I think, in those two matchups. So we definitely can find a better one. But hey, crazy that these guys just suck it up. Anyways, he's got himself a 1-0 lead. We're going to play the whole thing on US East. Wizz is going to have, you know, slightly better ping. You could argue way better. 80 to 164. But so far that hasn't seemed to matter. Wisty, if you guys don't know who he is another ones player coming out of South America. I think the world was a little bit surprised when KV1 came onto the scene because KV1 was just so dominant. It was kind of like, where was this guy? How did we not know that somebody from Sam was ready to take down all the giants of the world, and we just were blind to it? Well, I tell you what, we're not going to make the same mistake twice, and I think the next best opportunity to catch a Sam top 1v1er is Wisty, and he has been playing well. Worked his way through some tournaments, as I mentioned on the video today. Nice flick by Wizz. Going to be a 2-2 game. He played in the swamp. He just didn't make it out of the Swiss of the swamp. I can't remember who he lost to in the Swiss, but whoever it was likely a solid player. Wisty is not one to lose often. He is definitely using some wheels that I haven't seen anybody use before. Wisty currently rated 6th in the world. Number 1 for South America. Wizz rated 11th in the world. Number 3 for North America. He's behind First Killer, who is rank 1 overall, and then Daniel, who is somewhere around the 9 range. I don't think too many games have been played since the MMR reset, but these guys are solid nonetheless and more than capable of keeping their position as the season goes on if they continue to grind to do so. We've been locked here at 2-2 the past minute or so. Is a catch read by Wisty. You have to imagine those goal line reads, those late touches by Wizz, would be super hard to read on 160 ping. We know KV1 played an incredibly heavy early challenge game. He just did a great job staying on the ball, not really letting his opposition get going, get into their offense, be able to make a late move. Wisty hasn't been like that. Here he stays all the way on the goal line and just banks on the fact that Wizz didn't get a good setup. Bit of a dangerous play, but something you can get away with if your opponent is not on their game. I don't think you get away with giving that kind of space and time to, you know, some other players in the top 1v1 world. Wizz takeaway in a third. Wizz is actually about 15 MMR above Daniel. Ooh, interesting. When did that happen? So he's rank 2 in North America. Did he play a ranked game or something before this and win? I think that would be pretty much the only explanation, but I don't know why. There's no way he'd get 15 MMR because he was definitely under. Wisty, interesting. Those wall dashes don't exactly look like the way I normally watch people wall dash. Both these guys have left the net open for long distance counterattacks on multiple occasions. A little bit too aggressive. They've also traded here in kickoffs. Wisty at the last moment pushing to the right side of that ball. Ends up making him lose it heavily. into his half. He's not going to get goal side on this diagonal kickoff. Just prioritizing getting to the ball as soon as possible. Nice flick by Wizz. But Wisty has the reaction, and Wizz getting caught slightly on the post meant Wisty maybe had an opportunity for a counter, but he wasn't able to hold on to the ball very well. Instead, Wizz will counter it in style himself. Wisty dropping the ball. And Wizz passed to himself. Great shot on the left side of the ball. It can be really hard to do. Of course, these players have no trouble doing it. As the ball flies past you, you have to time that air roll and flip so perfectly to make sure you get the right angle. Wizz taking on the dribble. Flip reset doubles. Not there. Resetting just a little bit late. Point where the backboard, the crossbar, are able to help keep the ball out. If he had executed that a little bit farther away, it would have dropped down underneath in time. Wisty just handed over a completely free goal. Truly not sure what he was going for. Must have been expecting some kind of early challenge. I don't even think the replay is going to go back far enough in time for us to get a read and analyze what he might have been going for there. So for now, we'll just have to sit and wonder. 6-4. I wonder if Wisty will ask for a different server after this one. I feel like it's worth trying to get him his 130 as opposed to just sitting on 160. Let's bump. Wizz stealing this back corner boost, or at least that's what he wanted to, but Wisty jumps over the top of it. Wow, this is a great play from Wisty. Very impressive. No way he did that with ball cam on. Watching from his perspective, he had ball cam on. I don't know if that's a little bit of lag on the replay or something, but he turned ball cam on before he got to the boost, double jumped over the top. It makes sense because his quick power shot was like such a nice read that seemed to come unusually fast, and it makes sense if he had ball cam on that early. He's prepping for exactly how he needs to move out of the play in order to move quickly, and now Wizz getting a little overly greedy on his offense, trying to find something, and Wisty is able to just take it away. Once again, another wide open run to a net that is completely undefended. Both of these guys have given each other multiple opportunities to do that, but maybe Wizz has given just a couple more. 40 seconds, and Wisty has the lead. Nice cut. Wizz did not expect as hard of a turn towards the net. Let's watch it from Wizz's perspective. Oh, we're not going to get to see, but basically, he was not a believer that Wisty could stop the ball that quickly. Has earned Wisty a 2-goal lead. 30 seconds. Wizz does have possession. Really strong bounce dribble. I don't think he's going to be able to cut it back infield in time. I want to say Wisty's going to recognize that, and that's why he comes to challenge early, knowing that when you're already at that max speed, there's really not much you can do to slow down. What a save from Wisty. Oh my goodness. The final moments of defense to secure this game have been so impressive. Wisty has just looked so solid. This one will tap the ground. Wisty making a little bit of a late surge, winning the game by 2, and going up early in this best of 5. Game number 2. Wizz and Wisty. Wizz, nice recognition that Wisty was coming into his back corner to try and steal his back corner boost as a way to come out on top in the kickoff. But Wizz able to come away with both his boost and the ball. Trying to start a dribble now high near the ceiling. It's too strong of a touch. Isn't going to be able to redirect it in time. Smart to not try and milk it. Very important not to overdo attempts when they've already been lost. That's how you hand away a bunch of free goals in 1v1. Wizz not going to be able to pick up the midfield here, so he's going to have to give up on this play because he's sending it up the side wall. It's the too strong of a touch. couldn't find the tight angle. Is still holding on to possession. Is now in a crucial spot. That's a very important 50 with 12 boost. Just getting it out to midfield. Gets Wisty off his line. Gives himself time to pick up 100 in the corner. Not a great setup in the air. It's going to be a really easy challenge from Wisty as Wizz falls in front of the play. Wisty goal line 50. Not going to connect. The ball dies in front of Wizz's net. He's got a dribble going the other way. Really soft flick. Ends up throwing it right at Wisty, who didn't have to do much movement. Missed power slide. Wizz will have to take it to the back corner. Wizz once again. An air dribble play, leaving a bit to be desired. And the first goal of the game will come as a punishment for said poor dribble. Have to be so perfect in the air. And that is definitely not what Wizz has been. Wisty kickoff goal in a second. Wisty's going to completely ignore this kickoff despite just winning one. He wants to stay ahead in the mental game. I'm actually surprised he let that come all the way into his net. I feel like when you're rocking 160 ping, it's not really something you want to risk. It's the fact that you can save the last couple pixels before they go in, but Wisty didn't seem to be worried about it. And now he's got himself an open net again, and it just seems like Wizz is getting a little bit desperate in these times, especially being down. Wants to find offense bad, but is settling for some poor attempts. Wizz, he stole the back corner boost, but Wisty has just looked so good. It's actually insane. Wisty trying to give him a late hump. He doesn't pick up anything. He just comes to the back wall and booms a full field shot directly on net. Wisty has got to get Wizz has got to get a handle on this game. So right now, Wisty has been on an insane run. This is a good kickoff for Wizz. Shake off the rust here a little bit, because combining both the beginning of this game and the end of game number 1, Wisty has been on an insane run. Will this be the beginning of the end for that run as Wizz is able to get a quick goal, and he should be able to come away with a good possession here. He's going to cut directly towards the net. He doesn't want to give Wisty an opportunity to reset on boost, and I really like to see this from Wizz. Some players might take this to the sideball, might lollygag on their way on offense, but Wizz knows that if he constantly pressures the shot immediately after taking possession, Wisty never really has an opportunity to pick up either a corner boost or even path over pads, because he needs to stay in a position where he can constantly be able to make a save. That's a quick touch from Wisty. But Wizz once again in control. Needs to clean up this goal line play, because this is where he has been most sloppy, trying to finish off a play, not only not securing it, but also putting himself slamming off the back wall and leaving his net open. This time, the flick goes over the top of Wisty. And you got to imagine that those plays are hard to read for a player like Wisty, except that he's been handling it so well so far. So I say like a player like Wisty because Wisty's playing on 168 ping. But somehow he has had the read. Very interesting kickoff. It's kind of like a delay kickoff. He side flips, gets there so late, and then still lands left of the ball, right where Wizz is going to tap to. Is able to just kind of guide it off the sidewall into the net. I think it's something you can get away with very often. But certainly an interesting play, especially if Wisty did that on purpose and it wasn't just a missed side flip on the way to the kickoff, because sometimes it does feel like these players are just master improvisers for when they make slight mechanical mistakes. Wizz able to get just enough on it to put it over the top of Wisty, forcing him to half flip back into his half, but not fast enough to stop the power shot. He's within one. Oh, what a great save, but I don't think it's going to matter. Wisty is still going to finish it off. He goes, oh wait, no! Oh my god, wait, that was insane. That was insane. I thought he didn't score here for a second. But what are these bounces? How does it go into the net like that and come back out? Like, isn't that impossible? It should just be a side wall. It should have forward momentum. And so it should go into the net. Like, I don't understand how it can come inside and pop back out, but whatever. He does score eventually. So he's not punished too hard. I also feel like we're never going to be allowed to play Forbidden Temple anymore. I feel like no player is going to let us play Forbidden Temple because it's slightly different size or whatever. Even though it's probably completely unnoticeable if you aren't putting up like a practice shot in the exact same pixel location, but still. Air dribble bump and a 5th for Wizz. Hey, Flaming Lemon, I told you I'd give you mod. I was going to give you mod, and then you could very forcefully cultivate a positive and respectful chat. Oh my goodness. Not Emeralds. I think you're taking a hard L here. Chat is pretty pretty positively throwing you the L. I haven't been able to read chat, but something to get chat that against you. Wisty up 2. 30 seconds left to go. With his shot going to be saved away. Probably needed more than that in the final moments. Imagine he has to challenge just truly ridiculously. Wow, what a shot from Wisty. He is going to completely ice out this game number 2 in spectacular fashion. You watch it from Wizz's perspective. And he was just hoping for a miss. I don't know if he could get away with hoping for a miss. Felt like he needed an early challenge because he's trying to live on a miracle where he both challenges that, gets a goal, and then somehow scores again with enough time left on the clock. Wizz, a nice bump. I guess he's still living that world. He's got 5 seconds and 2 goals to get. Just needs Wisty to go truly brain dead, I guess, on these few kickoffs. I think Wisty, as long as he's holding the controller, should be able to stop 2 goals in 5 seconds. And he did. And that'll be GG's. Wisty's going to go up 2-0 against Wizz. Can Wizz get rolling here? He's going to need to. He wants to come back in the series. Game number 3. Feer, did you see KV1 versus Moxie? You mean talking about the Danone World Cup or whatever? Or I don't know if it was World Cup. But yeah, I did. I did check that out. I don't know if I watched the whole games, but I do know how they went. And I talked to KV1 about how they went. So I thought that was pretty interesting. It seems like, I don't know where they streamed it or whatever, but I don't think they realized how good of content they were sitting on. Kind of like an interesting situation where if they had farmed that game out to like Johnny or me, I guess I don't know how many people watched it, but like definitely their YouTube video I think had like 40 views or something on it. Like, oh my goodness, there is an audience that wants to watch this video so bad. You just haven't been able to like connect with them. It was interesting. Because I think the people who run that YouTube channel or that, tournament, they do like a bunch of different stuff. They do more than just Rocket League. So I don't think they're really worried about getting views on their stuff. Like, I don't think that's what it's like about for them, which is, I don't know, maybe a weird thing to say, but because it must be. But either way, Wizz up 1-0. Good sign for him at the start of this game. He is going to need to come back here. He did jump out. Oh, what a 50. The little nose stand 50. He jumped out of this game to switch cars. You have to guess at least, but I don't think he was using Octane before. He's still using Octane, so I don't know if he just went to a different Octane. Not a great air dribble bump at all by Wisty. His offense, maybe coming a little bit more lackluster. Wizz now with space. Wisty is just, I mean, if it weren't for the fact that he was doing this kind of defense earlier on the goal line and having it work, I'd be so confused. Wait, what was that? Dude, Wisty's getting comfortable. Are we seeing a comfortable, cocky Wisty right now? To be fair, I don't know what kind of player Wisty is at all. I haven't had Wisty on enough times to get a feel for it. Now, what he just did there is something I could see Evo doing in a game where Evo feels like he's going to win. You know, just throwing some wave dashes into the corner that might not work and getting scored on and not being worried about it because you know you're going to get the win eventually. Shot off the wall. Maybe that's what Wisty feels, man. A lot of players play really good in that flow state where they just play super confident. They don't think too hard about every movement they're making. It results in handing over free goals, but the benefits of just playing so loose and comfortable outweigh the slight moments that they make mistakes. And also, it could just be as simple as he thinks he's got it in the bag and he doesn't matter what he does. We'll have to see. Wisty deciding he's not going to be able to make anything work with this 12 boost. Front flip from Wizz. He's going to be able to get it back in. Yeah, not a strong enough clear to stop Wizz from tapping it in on the continuation. And Wisty has 50 boost. He absolutely can clear it if he thought he needed to. But he was trying to save it and maybe kill it to keep it close for himself to grab possession. I bet you he was expecting Wizz to go try and steal the corner boost. So what he was thinking is while Wizz goes to the corner boost to steal it, I'll drop it, hold on to 50 boost, and then I can make a play because I have the ball and I have enough, you know, to do something with it. But what happened instead is he didn't give it a strong enough touch, and then Wizz just gets an immediate goal. Nice air dribble bump this time. Much cleaner, much better setup than his previous one. And now he's got himself within one. He has had a solid kickoff. He hasn't had KV1 level kickoff. He has gotten himself a couple different kickoff goals. I think the crazy part about KV1 he just does it by perfecting the approach every time. Whereas Wisty does seem to mix up his kickoff a lot more often. We've seen him fake it sometimes. We've seen him do that slight delay kickoff. It doesn't seem like he just sticks to the standard. Wizz. Once he gets his aerial game going, it's going to be tough to stop him, but Wisty did a great job of showing high, kind of like threatening a save, which is kind of a weird phrase to put it. I'm not really sure how to say it, but basically he's showing, I'm willing to challenge you high in the air. If you're going to make a play, I'm going to come from the ceiling. I'm going to intercept you. Kind of convinces Wizz not to take it early. Instead, bring it to the ground. And then ultimately, Wisty's had these goal line saves. He does it again, and he's just playing reactionary. Wizz's bounce, maybe slightly too far away from the net. Even though his aerial power shot was solid, it just was a little bit too far away. It gave Wisty time to react. And now the other way, Wisty, the double jump pop, he was looking for a bump. He kind of got it, but Wizz was just playing right underneath him. And by the time Wizz gets back to it, he cannot clear it out. He can just change where it goes to the net. Wisty, soft flick saved. Wizz trying to get this out past the car of Wisty, but he is able to hold on to possession, and he's picked up every 100 boost pad on the map. Wizz is going to have to continue to work with just the pads he's been able to pick up, but he's done enough to buy himself some space. He will pick up a back corner now. They challenged Wisty earlier, they just play on the goal line. Wisty has really liked his air dribble bumps in the past couple minutes. But he didn't like that setup because he pulled off that dribble really, really early. Both these guys are really low on boost. Wizz just going to lob one to the back wall. Wants a second chance at offense this time with the boost advantage. See if he's able to get that. Wisty seems to be playing really comfortable with very little, but maybe he shouldn't have been comfortable because Wizz finds his opportunity to strike on an open net. Wisty, he really wanted to find a way to not have to leave the play. In the process of deciding whether or not he could, he just was a little bit too late on the recovery. Nice power slide by Wisty on the bump. It's not going to matter. Wizz still gets his 5th goal. Let's see if it's going to show that. Oh, this looked like it. It looked less like it from Wisty's perspective, but from Wizz's, it looked like as he got bumped, he had to hold the power slide to make sure he didn't get taken off the direction he wanted to go. 2 goals, 20 seconds to get him. What is Wisty's ping here? Yeah, 144. It's at least slightly better on this server. That will likely do it. That midfield boost steal. Talk about it all the time. You can make magic happen at the end of games for sure, but you have to have boost control. For the past 30 seconds, or the last 30 seconds, I mean, as long as you're at 100 and the other guy's, you know, under 50, you can maybe make something happen as far as 2 goals, but never if you're down. Wisty and Wizz. Curly Fries met Wizz. We all got to sit and watch with them. At least I assume we must have met Wizz. Wisty, first real possession of this game, number 4. Dropping the dribble, but perfecting the 50. Wizz thought he saw an opportunity to challenge as the ball came to the ground. Didn't really get a good play through the ball. More flipped past the play. That's kind of credit to Wisty maybe not playing it as fast as Wizz expected. That was a really interesting kickoff by Wisty, by the way. It was exactly what he had done before with that weird approach, but this time it was so late that it didn't matter. He timed the late approach perfectly the first time around in order to get himself an immediate kickoff goal. This time, not so much. He's having to play defense ever since that moment, and Wizz is eventually going to score. Wizz is young, like 13, 14. No, he is 15 now. I don't know. He could even be approaching 16. He's been playing on the stream probably since he was 13. Can't remember if Wizz played even that early or if it was just 14 when he started playing. But he's been good for a long time. And these kids do continue to age. I think you're just remembering when he first was good. Sometimes I forget that, you know, Daniel is... I guess Daniel's still just 15. Daniel's pretty young. But Daniel was like super, super young when he first was playing. Yo, Major Pain. Even the gifted sub. Over to Andy. Oh, I guess I should move the alert box because we don't have the leaderboard anymore. So put it back over in the corner. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. You've been gifting subs a bunch. 3 gifted subs. I feel like you gifted 2 last time. And we greatly appreciate it. Ooh, Wisty. That's what I'm talking about with the 140 ping trying to get the goal line saves. Oh, he missed the 100. That is going to be tough. He missed the 100 and then he dove so deep into the net. So interesting. Seemed pretty obvious that a Wizz shot was coming. He must have thought it was going to go high and that his only way to get any height was to go up the inside of the net. And then just realized too late that it wasn't going high. He just needed to get to the other post as soon as possible. Wizz a 4th as he outpaces Wisty. Wisty with 70 boosts, more than enough to move around the field, but he is trying to contest the ball early, setting up his shadow defense really close to Wizz. But Wizz, the surprising take off the wall, just extending the ball past him faster than he would have thought. A nice immediate kickoff goal, and it seems like he's always due for one of these if the lead seems to be getting away from him. You're excited to see when free-to-play players get to play on your stream. Yeah, that's interesting. How long has it been free-to-play? Wonder if we're close to getting free-to-play people on. Wisty, is he going to try and go for this shot? He had to use his second jump just to get to the ball, so not a ton of power, didn't have a ton of boost. Season 1. Well, yeah, I know Season 1, but when was that? How much time in real world time has it been? September 2020. Interesting. So only like a year and a half of playing if you started playing right when you got free to play. I wouldn't expect to see them for a bit, right? probably at least another year, I would think. I don't know. How many hours can somebody get in 2 years? They go absolutely insane. It'll be some 13-year-old or something for sure. They'll be like, oh, yeah, I picked it up right when it went free to play, and I actually haven't set down the controller since. September 2020, so there hasn't been any real-world time since then. Wizz, long shot as he gets chased down. Wisty trying to steal his boost and take him off the map, not getting either. Having to watch as the ball falls in his net. He became a fan of Wizz's style. He changed it up so much since then. That's true. Wizz versus Ibeki. Yeah, I mean, when Wizz first started playing, he was a perfect defense and counterattack guy. He would cover his net in absolute perfect fashion and then catch you on a quick counter. Since then, he's added a ton of aerial game. You know, when he peaked again or when he played really well again, he was playing so much in the air. Now he's just, you know, playing a more all-around style. He's definitely one with much more aggression than he once had. Wisty looking for the top right corner. Not going to find it. Within one here. Right, recognition that he didn't have an opportunity to pick up the midfield boost. That he had taken even slightly more of a path away from the play. That Wizz would have been able to score. Wisty, this is a deep 50 with no boost to get back. But this touch from Wizz actually does look savable. Wisty having to think about dodging the demo that whole time as well. Now that is going to be a really hard touch to handle, but Wizz completely messed up. Oh my goodness, Wizz. He just left the net wide open. It's not going to let us see what Wizz was doing here. Obviously looking for a double, wanting to keep the ball away from the low boost defender, but you cannot let the ball fall that far away from yourself when you're so low boost. Fortunately, we don't get to know why it happened that way. We didn't get to watch from Wizz's perspective. So 5-5. Wisty certainly wants to end it here in Game 4. Not have a Game 5 against a player who is pretty obviously finding his momentum. Wizz with space. Able to take the mid and back corner full boost. He's going to go air triple bump. Wisty goes underneath it. Not sure Wisty's going to be able to counter. Especially because he has to rush to the ball. Oh my goodness, a pool shot in his own net. If Wisty is able to tap this in, no, Wizz undercuts him. That would have been so terrible for Wizz if he pool shot Wisty out there. And then Wisty was able to get the read off the backboard. Instead, we have overtime. It's a big miss. But Wizz, is he going to be able to score? No, he couldn't. I thought that net was pretty open. He couldn't corral it in time. So now Wisty the other way. He's had some really solid fakes in low 50s, but he lost his 50 big time. I think Wizz is going to be able to score off of it. Yes. 6-5. Wizz sends it to Game 5 against Wisty. Solid challenge as Wisty gets caught reversing to try and set up another 50. He can't do so. GG's from both these guys as we go to Game 5. Game number 5, Wizz and Wisty. What's going on, AFO? We have got a good matchup. We expected a good matchup. That's what we got. We thought Wisty was maybe going to take it away, but since then, Wizz has done a good job fighting back. Can Wizz secure the reverse sweep? All of the games on the better server for Wisty, he hasn't been able to win. Maybe that's why he didn't want to jump off that 160 server ping. Nice. So not 160 ping server. Wizz with the flip reset. One of the first flip reset shots we've had. I think we had Wisty end the game with a really nice one, much higher in the air. But both of these players capable of hitting them more often. Wizz going to get one on a low dribble and take an early lead in this final game. Chat and their channel points, I think, did believe in Wizz a little bit more than they did Wisty, so they want to see this Wizz win. Air dribble bump. Wisty taken off the map. Really good execution by Wizz. Basically has the back end of his car still touching the ball, which is the perfect way to protect it. Makes it almost impossible to find an angle that doesn't have to go through Wizz to get the save. Wizz, this reset. Oh my goodness, Wisty just gets caught watching. This is a nasty shot from Wizz. You could tell watching from Wisty's perspective first. He just didn't have faith. He thought for sure Wizz was going to let it drop to the ground. He could just take the ball off the bounce, but no. The side flip does get him back to the play. And this is the kind of Wizz we see nowadays. More than capable of making some highlight plays in the air. Can he hold on to his lead with tons of time left on the clock? Wizz starting an air dribble. A bit of an awkward spot, so we can't get it going too quick. Wisty will be able to get the save. Big 50 from Wizz to not lose that at all into his half. But Wisty recovers, gets the demo, and it's still a great opportunity for him on offense. Strong tap into the corner, and this is kind of an unconventional play. I like it, though, from Wisty because it ends up working out. Instead of even making a play towards the net at all, Wisty just turns and chips it into the corner in a pure keep-away fashion. He's just doing whatever he has to do to make sure Wizz's challenge does not work, and then he'll worry about scoring later, which is it's not something you see very often. Usually players will try and outpace the defender directly towards the net or flick them, as opposed to just truly taking the ball away from them like Wisty just did. Yo, Burton Sniper, thank you for the Prime, the brand new Prime. Much appreciated to have you here watching the stream, joining the Feer clan. Wisty, I think this is a crucial moment of this game. I don't think he's been able to find the offense like he has previously in the series, and now he does. Talking about a crucial moment, I think Wisty lived up to it as he lobs it to the ceiling, or not quite the ceiling, but the high back wall, and he gets a reset on the double to eventually tap in his second. Chat says creative, and they're exactly right. That has been what Wisty's been in his 2 goals here in Game 5. To find a goal in unconventional ways, and it's been working out. Wisty, I was like, why does he not want to take this? I know he's capable of it, but the reason is he has no boost. What a flick from Wizz, the double! That was calculated. Obviously, this is what he meant to do the whole time. Wizz does have a really solid flick. We haven't seen him use it too much. Wisty was probably worried about own goaling, but Wizz taps it in. Fake kickoff from Wizz. That didn't work. I was watching Wisty's car movement after the touch because I was thinking, okay, what does Wisty want to do here? And then I realized, oh, I'm looking at the wrong place. He just scored. He's doing something weird because he knows he already got the goal. Or 3. Wizz able to get the midfield boost. Wisty continues to stick to his game plan of not backing down, regardless of how much he's left without the kickoff. Nice challenge here on the goal line. And now Wizz is going to need a late recovery. Good 50. Wisty's had great 50s at the midfield. He's done a good job of knowing when Wizz is having to panic challenge and just pulling away from the ball on the ground to make sure that it hits his car in the perfect spot to just kill it and win it right towards the net. Smart play. We did see Wizz at the end of Game 4 beat that low 50 in order to send this to Game 5. Wizz looking like he wants to be patient. If Wisty is not going to come challenge him, he doesn't want to try and take a full field dribble if he doesn't need to. That being said, Wisty took the call and immediately came and challenged the ball off the top of him. But now these two fighting for it at midfield. Wizz once again be able to reset with boost, and Wisty doesn't care. He's going to try and find offense without it. And that touch might have been too far away. enough to the sidewall. He's going to buy himself some time. Wizz up super early near the ceiling. His dribble's nowhere near the net, but it's far enough away to stop Wisty from being able to get a touch. Wisty is playing so interesting here in an effort to not let Wizz in. He seemed to recover super late. It's like he didn't want to get to the net too soon because he wanted to be approaching the net as the shot came out. Still ended up getting there before Wizz made a play and then couldn't find a good touch off the inside of the net. So it will be a 5-4 lead for Wizz. Zach, thank you for the prime. Another brand new prime. You got 3 different brand new primes today. Appreciate it. Awesome to have you guys here joining the squad. Wizz on the wall. Wisty, a great challenge. Only problem is it cost him all his boost. If he had any more, he would have had an easy run to the net. So Wizz going to play keep away for the last 30 seconds, or will he take it? He's going to take it directly towards Wisty. His air dribble is saved, but not strong enough. He'll get a 6th. Wisty's going to throw him the nice shot. I do feel like this save could have been better. He got a little bit too ahead of it. And now he needs 2 in 23 seconds, or Wizz is going to have secured the full reverse sweep. Wisty looking for the demo. Nice dodge. You can see from Wizz's perspective, he had a long time to read that that was coming. And now a 7th. I think that'll do it. Wisty agrees. Wizz, a 7-4 win. A huge comeback after it looked like Wisty was going to dominate the series. Wizz gets the reverse sweep. Oh, wait. Wisty's back. Wait. Never mind. He just left the team. Anyways, 12 seconds. It's probably over. As I say that, Wisty scores. All right, chat. We might have thrown the GGs too early. Wait, that could have been my fault. I thought I actually saw him leave the game, but I think he just left the team. Imagine. Imagine he gets 2 more of those now. Okay, I don't think it's going to happen. Wait, unless Wizz owned goals on purpose, which he didn't. All right, now it's GGs. Now Wizz did it. Oh, this would be the nastiest clip. Good play by both these guys. Wisty, no GGs. Doesn't seem to be a talkative guy anyways, but I don't know. I'm not going to read too hard into it. I'll give him a GG's instead.